I freaking love prime rib. I had steak
you're a
last
vegan
night.
now. I thought you were a vegan. You had steak 2 nights in a row.
Yeah. It's last March.
Well, how do you be a vegan if you had steak 2 nights in a row?
Why did you do that?
Special occasion.
He's a vegan, but he's getting steak 2 nights in a row. What kind of
Special
vegan is that?
occasion, man.
What kind of vegan is that? So, like, Fitzy, you came to Charleston in, what, 93, 94?
Right.
And then my first year was 95, 96. Sightseas was 96, 97. What about you, Johnny?
Well, 98, but not here. I was in Virginia in
New Hampton
98.
Roads, yeah. First team to win the Brabham Cup and the Kelly Cup at the same time. I just think we had a lot of skill with Sightsee.
Steven Sight plays the hero, and we go to the next round.
Sapola.
Down the slot, over to Sapola. His shot, score!
We won without Dan. Dan broke his neck.
He broke his neck, like it didn't affect his larynx, did it?
No. He think
They tweaked
turned
the volume. Yeah, I think they did tweak it a little
That makes
because
total sense.
he had the big brace on, but you could hear him, from the back of the bus, from the front,
Put an amplifier in. I remember my first day in Charleston when I went to the hockey rink, and I met this guy named Spags. He had a Stingray Corvette with the Stingray bumper sticker on the front.
Mullet.
Yeah, he had a mullet. He combed it in the back like this. He used to be called Mr. Stingray back in the day.
Well, his number's in the rafters for a reason.
But it was great coming in as a rookie, not knowing what to expect coming out of college. And then we've got, leaders like Brett Marietti, Rob Kincannon, Chris Hines.
Yeah.
So for me to come in with all these guys, it's the veterans in our lineup that really taught me how to be a pro. Because those guys never took a shift off.
I think that's
Okay, are you
huge,
saying that, are you just making that up now? Because, are you saying they also led you how to be a pro at the bar after, too? I mean...
Yeah, that was before we moved into George Street.
And then we had this kid Fitzsimmons in the net.
Yeah.
He was the only... He faked that he was sick, and you had to ride on the bus back to
I was in practice goalie. The coach asked me one time, why don't you try and practice? And I just said, I'll try when that clock starts ticking.
Yeah.
I was a gamer.
Yeah, well, that's when you came down, Ray. Kind of everything just kind of went right. We went those 2 5-game series with Pensacola against your brother. That was we thought that wasn't going to be much of a series, and we could have very easily lost that because it came back to game 5. It was just... How many things have to go your way? That's right.
We bust 17 hours and get back to Charleston with the police escort, drive in the Coliseum, and then there was 9,000 fans waiting in the stands for you to come out.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is hockey in the South.
Yeah.
This is amazing,
But in 01, it was just completely different because winning it here at home, I've never seen the Coliseum like that.
Never.
I've had friends of mine that were at the game and they are from Detroit. And they've seen Detroit win a Stanley Cup and they say Sightsee, it was louder in the Coliseum than it was in a Stanley Cup in Detroit. And then, just the exuberation when the clock went to 0 and we jumped on the ice and be able to look around and just see just the hysteria and just the love from everybody.
And I look back at it and just think about it was really a pretty special environment here. We were considered like a celebrity here.
To our fans, we were the NHL.
Right. Well, it just was seemed ridiculous.
But in the ECHL, they thought we were, we're a pro hockey player. They thought, and they treated us that way everywhere we went in town, whether it's, a bar, restaurant, golf course.
The team as we have this year, it reminds you of those teams where you're going to block a shot no matter what. You're going to take a hit for this guy. We're going to go out to the bar. We're going to go golfing together. We're going to be there and stick up for one another. They have swagger. That when we go out to play, we don't give a fuck who we're playing. We're going to stick it right up their asses.
I'm originally from 45 minutes north of Atlanta. Growing up in the South, everyone asked me the same question, how'd you get into hockey? But it was a sport that I really, truly loved. I eventually left Atlanta when I was 15 to go to prep school up in Boston. I went to Boston College. Unfortunately, my senior year was COVID year, so they sent us home. And then, I got a call from the Stingrays, and it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Actually, I've known Conor since we were like maybe 10 years old. We used to do the USA Select camps, and it would be the Southeast District, so North Carolina, Georgia. So we just became really close.
Southern guys on the team, we all know each other because the community's so small. There's only 3 or 4 rinks in Georgia. I know with like Josh Wilkins and Tyler Weiss at North Carolina, there's only a couple there. You know, growing up, we're always playing against each other. Like I grew up playing against Conor Moore. We were rivals growing up.
I grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Not a lot of hockey there.
There's not. No, there is not. My dad grew up playing on ponds in Pennsylvania, and I ended up trying it, and obviously ended up loving it.
Yeah, Tyler Weiss, he's got a great personality. He's a fun guy to be around this year, always coming to the rink, always had a big smile on his face, fiery out there.
I think Rob has done a really, really good job of making sure that the guys feel at home. He's making sure that the apartments, the amenities, everything that we need is there. Our gym is walking distance from us. So, you know, we get card games going, we sit by the pool. With the weather down in the south, it's awesome.
You know, every kid grows up, they want to be the NHL, they want to be like Sidney Crosby or Ovechkin or those guys. But now, you know, I'm almost 28, so I think kind of found my home in South Carolina and the Stingrays. In the beginning, when I first started playing pro, it was like each year was like, oh my God, I'm panicking. Where am I going to play? What am I going to do next year? But now as I've gotten older, it's kind of like I take a little more time. And kind of came back and I knew I wanted to start a business and a landscaping business. Conor Moore on our team, he helped me out.
He came up to me and said, hey, like, I'm thinking about starting this company. Like, if you're sticking around, would you be willing to help? And I said, for sure, let's get this thing rolling. We have a lot of fans who reach out to us who might not need to switch their landscaping, but since we're on the team and they know how hard we work on and off the ice, they hired us pretty quickly.
Actually, Josh posted in the South Carolina Stingrays fans Facebook page that he was starting a landscaping business. I mean, I love watching them. I love hockey. I come from Vermont, which is, you know, right up next to Canada, very close to hockey area. So it's been nice to just kind of have that from my home state here.
The community here is awesome. Whether we're winning or losing, the community always has our back.
We just got our start from a lot of the fans, and then people saw us out and came and talked to us and kind of heard our story.
Hockey in, you know, southern states is getting more and more. I mean, we have the Winter Classic going down in Florida next year. So it's been nice to see that it's been growing as the ECHL grows.
You wouldn't think that it would be a big sport there. However, the Carolina Hurricanes came, and then we won the Stanley Cup.
Today, like, you can't even get ice in Raleigh. It's so big.
Right.
The game's got so big. And like back in the day, it used to be like 4 to 10 guys out there. Now it's 30 plus.
Right. Didn't you meet Josh Wilkins out there?
Yeah, I was like 8 or 10. I don't know. He was just like, here, pass me these pucks. I just started passing him pucks. He started one-timing pucks, and I thought he was really good. He was kind of one of the Raleigh guys that led the way, because he did go to like a really good college.
Scoring!
Signed an NHL contract and played in the higher leagues.
Josh was 3 when we put skates on him, and he didn't even hold on. He just took off.
From the very first time I grabbed a hockey stick and felt the hockey stick, it kind of felt right to me. I was really, really fortunate growing up. I had an unfinished basement. It was like a really slippery concrete surface.
But it just turned into like hockey rink. Josh and I would just battle like every day after school, like just one-on-one for like hours. And
with a hockey stick through the window?
Yeah. So,
yeah, the knee hockey stick went through the window and nobody would fess up to what happened. No one was. It was like, I said, what happened? No one says, we don't know. We don't know.
Who was it?
It was me. Well, from the beginning, it was mostly roller hockey. Ice hockey wasn't really like a big thing yet. The Hurricanes just came to town.
Most fans didn't know a slap shot from a hip check.
It's going to take some time here, but I think everybody's going to enjoy it and love the sport.
Yeah, we had Peter Laviolette. He was the coach of the Hurricanes when they won the Cup in '06. So he was like down the road from us. I hung out. His son's the same age as me.
It was really, what, 2 rinks?
Yeah,
so when we were growing up, 2 ice
rinks.
Because like I said, a lot of people would go to the games, didn't know the rules, right?
Yeah.
So the '06 championship season, you know, they had a parade for the Stanley Cup. There was no place in Raleigh to have a parade. So all they did was drive the cup around around the arena. So you know, who does that, right?
good to kind of just see hockey grow in the South. Some of us are throwing camps out there to bring more kids. I kind of want to help them, expand their skill and have them be ready for like that next level, whether it be like squirt, pee-wees. I just want to kind of show them what I've been through in Southern hockey and, help them however I can. I enjoy it. I do it like every summer, help the community out a bit.
From North Carolina, travel hockey is traveling by airplane.
I mean, hockey in the South is not cheap. Traveling every weekend is not cheap.
I think the lowest point, though, was Mother's Day nacho cheese platter at the roller rink. I was, he was about 7 years old. And Jill's looking at the nacho platter going, this is it? This is Mother's Day? Yeah. Yeah.
We went to 4 different high schools, so there was no proms or just from the South just made the journey a little bit different.
Yeah. I had an invite to go play in Haymarket, Virginia for a team called the Atlantic Storm. So every weekend, my dad would drive me 5 hours to the rink to practice and then 5 hours back.
But it was expensive. Well, I worked and my husband worked. And my whole salary went to hockey. We were like, okay, this is it. We can't do it anymore. And my older son, Ryan, said, Tyler's better than me. I'll just play lacrosse.
My brother ended up quitting so that we could afford hockey for me. That's the sacrifice he made for me. And, I don't think I could ever repay him for that. Our team would always stay at like nice places and we would just never stay with them.
And they would all go out for dinner and say, you want to go for dinner? And we'd be like, no, we're going to go home and rest.
I got a call from playing the ECHL, so I dropped all my things in Raleigh, North Carolina, left my family, left all my friends to pursue hockey.
Can you believe I let him move away at 14? Was that crazy?
Went to Toronto, lived with the billet family my first year. It was the first year that I left home I was 14 years old. It was hard. I cried. Well, sometimes I was very homesick. I was living with a new family. They were European, so they lived way differently than we did. But eventually I ended up doing well, and I made a lot of great friends there I still talk to this day.
And then after you left, everybody else was sending their kids. They're like, we're gonna do the Tyler Weiss route. I'm like, okay, we did it. Yeah.
It wasn't a new thing. A lot of people.
Hey, look, people still say I'm doing the Tyler Weiss route. You got a lot of good experience there. I think your first kiss was there, maybe?
So I went to the U.S. national program, and I went there for 2 years.
Weiss behind the Russian goal. Try to go out in front. Burton tapped it on goal. Score! Weiss, Burton wide!
I just think that really, helped my game. I had a lot of fun there. Made some really good buddies.
Yeah, I signed with Nashville. I went up to Nashville for their playoffs, and they lost to Dallas. So then the next year, I started the year in Milwaukee.
Wilkins, he scores! Josh Wilkins with his first professional goal!
Probably 10 guys on that team are now full-time NHLers. I kind of had to adjust from a skill guy to like a bottom line position. But the next year going in, I was getting a better chance to actually play, but obviously the world shut down with COVID and all that. It was kind of a bummer for me. That was kind of my, my last year, my deal. Hey, I got to make or break. And it just wasn't a great situation. A lot of things in life is opportunity and kind of chances you're given. It didn't really work out there for me, but what am I going to do?
So I was drafted 4th round, 109 overall to the Colorado Avalanche 2018. I went to the draft. Unbelievable experience. Hearing your name called you only hear it once, right? And it's like it goes so fast, you want to hear it again. I've never felt that feeling before of like we made it type deal. Because I want to do this for a living, and to make money off of it, or something that you love that much is it's the best feeling in the world.
And I had to go to the bathroom so bad. Didn't they call his name right? I was in the bathroom. I come out, Tyler's down on the floor. I'm like, I missed them calling his name at the NHL draft. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, these are I really like these ones. These are good ones.
Yeah, we had a sailboat for our engagement photos. Squishy. What are you doing?
I actually met my wife in my first training camp in Nashville. She was on a bachelorette trip with all of her friends, and I was out at Jason Aldean bar just being a clown.
Came up to me and was like, hey. I was like, hey.
She was with all of her friends, and I was trying to like talk to her. Bubba, hey. I was trying to talk to her, and she was with all of her friends, so it was kind of awkward. But I ended up getting her number, and I had to come to Charleston pretty much every summer. I always loved it here, so I stayed in touch with her. We kept talking, kept kind of like, hey, you want to come visit me, all this stuff. So I came back down here, and I never left.
And now we're here. And now we have our beautiful family.
Yeah.
And this is Bubba.
Yeah.
He was our first kid.
Being from the South, and every year you're trying to prove yourself to other players and the coaches and all that stuff, and I just got kind of over it. And she actually inspired me to play one more year for the Stingrays, and I talked to Rob Concannon and the coach, and they kind of agreed to let me come in and play.
Hey Stingrays fans, I'm excited to be a part of the organization for the upcoming season and play in front of the best fans in the ECHL.
Josh Wilkins is one of the most skilled players you'll see at this level, who is a difference maker every time he steps out on the ice.
Obviously, this is my third year now here. I couldn't imagine it going any better. I love it here, the city, the people, the rink.
It's really just a big family, and even like the fans, they come up, even like in public, they'll come up to us and be like, hey, Wilkins family. And me being from here, it's so amazing just to see another side of how amazing Charleston can be as a community.
Part of the reason, Johnny, like you came here from Hampton Roads, right?
Yeah.
You played in Hampton Roads first. But part of the reason you came here was because of, early mid-90s, was because of the culture.
Winning culture, number one. Great coaching, number two. But the city doesn't have anything, right? It's like it's a really good trifecta of ability to bring in great players.
Sure.
I'll give you a great example. I was in the American League when I was a young kid. I was making $50,000 a year playing in Syracuse. I got sent down to Charleston, South Carolina. My salary got cut to $500 a week. It was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the sense where now I'm where I'm happy.
Sure.
I'm in an environment with great people, and it changed my life.
I would say my 5 years playing for the Stingrays were the most fun, best times of my life. And then you did it every single day with 20 of your best friends, and you played hockey.
Even if you turn the camera and look out at the boats, it's just beautiful here. This is like my fourth year being here, and obviously I never want to leave. And a lot of players that come play here, they stay here. Me and Conor are pretty good friends with some guys that have played here before us. David Seitz, a Hall of Famer for the Stingrays. We're out hanging out with him in the summertime. So everyone just kind of helps each other out, and that's what makes it so cool.
I've always told my family, like, just, because I live so close here, that I want to settle down in Charleston. It's so nice here, and I knew one day I had to play here. This year I've been through some adversity. It's pro hockey's all ups and downs. It's a roller coaster, and sometimes you hit a mental block where you think you forget how to play the game. You're not playing your best hockey. Where you're not getting bounces. I went through an 8-game stretch this year where I don't even know how to play this game.
May have been gripping the stick a little bit too tight, trying a little bit too hard. I think that happens sometimes when you come down to the ECHL. There were a couple situations that he probably wanted back, with some penalties and things like that.
Yeah, I got scratched. All coach said to me was, he wanted me to take a night off. He said I've been looking tired.
I think he was scratched for a couple games. Great conversations with the coach. Things you have to work on, things you have to improve on in order to put yourself in the best possible position. And I think Tyler did that.
When that scratch happened in Norfolk, that was my turning point for the whole year, I believe. I had to reach out to my old billet mom, who's a sports psychologist. She does a lot of professional teams, and she gave me a lot of good pointers. And, I think that really got me thinking perspective-wise. What can I do different? What can I control, not control? When I think the expectation is so high and I think about it, get in my head, I forget to have fun. And I think she taught me to, be that little kid again.
You have such a love for the game. Just go out and do what you love. And be you. Like, don't worry about anything else. You love this game. Now do it.
Okay.
Sweet. I feel like if you just get happy for others and their success, eventually, hopefully when your success comes, that they feel the same way about you, right? So I was in a little drought there, and I had to find something to get out of it. It was like, I could control my back checking, work harder, attitude, effort, because when you're in those lows, you can't just sulk in them. You gotta find a way to get out, and once you get out, you just ride it and just keep doing what you're doing.
Look at me go, look at me flex, this not a plane, more like a jet. I heard the song, we ain't impressed, then she heard me, now she undressed. To make it all worse, I got a check. You want a verse, double the check. I wanted this, then I got this, I want that, I'ma get that. This how I look when you threaten and kill it. I gave a warning and they didn't listen. I'm at the ceiling, that's independent. She in the feelings and that's when they finish. I've been around in your cities and states, I taking down on your biddies today. I wanna crown for the busiest days, you just a clown with your minimum wage, word. This how I go and you pop it, this how I go and you hot. Funnier now and I drop it, none of the numbers can drop. She be on me and that's true, but I'ma go finish on top. You get what you want when you pop it, you do what you want when you hot. This how I go when you pop it, this how I go when you hot. Funnier now when I drop it, none of the numbers gon' drop. She be on me and that's true, but I'ma go finish on top. You get what you want when you pop it, you do what you want when you hot. I just spit quick, but the lines so slick. Get up on the regular like which one hits. Made it on the regular don't sound like this, but it still hits. I don't miss, I just go, go, go like a go-go flow. And I'm almost done, and I told you so. When I throw these flows like it's Rochambeau, and I ain't too close, it's Joe Smo goes. And I'm hot.